Namaste, my name is Sanat Kumar. Welcome back to the Manana Podcast. Manana is a Sanskrit word that means reflection or contemplation. In this podcast, I'll be sharing my deep, insightful reflections for you to contemplate and hence live a life of fulfillment. I hope you find great value in today's episode.
There's nothing called as overthinking, or if there is something like that, it's not named well. So it's messing with your understanding of what thinking is in the first place. Whether you overcome overthinking or not, but never shun thinking from your life. Never make thinking the enemy. Thinking is an invaluable gift given only to humankind. And it's not just a gift, it also comes with certain responsibilities. The responsibility to design and redesign our own life. The universe wants you to learn from the situations it is providing. We saw in the episode Hardships and Pain, the universe is making us think the right questions and come up with constructive solutions. Again, thinking is very crucial in one's life, so never make it the enemy. But it is thinking only if it's deliberate and productive. We already saw this in the previous episode, 9 highly useful frameworks for life, and especially if it's hurting you, it's not thinking at all. This term called overthinking is a sham. When someone says overthinking, what they actually mean is that they cannot control their own mind. They are referring to the overflow of thoughts that they have very little or no control over. If they did not think it, how is it overthinking? Thinking happens only when you have control over your mind. Did you get it? So what people actually are experiencing is their failure in handling their super powerful computer, their brain. Overwhelmed would be the right word. Why and how do we get overwhelmed? More is not always good. More information, for example, is not always good. Information is not lacking in this world. Information overload is more of a real problem than the lack of information in this era. Contemplating the information that you receive brings clarity, hence growth. Not contemplating the received information is the biggest problem. Knowing dates and names in history is not as useful as the lessons you get from it. If you've read my previous blogs or listened to these episodes, you know which school of thought or philosophy I belong to. All pain arises from ignorance. Awareness liberates us from all suffering. The cause of all pain and suffering is ignorance. And most of that ignorance comes not from not knowing the unknown unknowns, it comes from not knowing the known unknowns and unknown knowns, and not acting on the known knowns. In other words, ignorance comes not just from not knowing unknown facts, it mainly arises from lack of contemplation and lack of action. We've already seen in the episode Shades of Dharma that it is our dharma to act on the truth we know. Passively consuming is very easy. Introspection and contemplation, however, is very hard. Since thinking has reduced or gone poor in quality and or depth, consumption has also reverted to a passive state. We've all shifted our defaults from active consumption and introspection to passive consumption and surface level thoughts, words, and actions that arise from it. And this passive consumption will lead to the sense of feeling overwhelmed. It's like we have two tanks in our brain. One is for temporarily receiving new information and another is for storing the received information after it has been processed. And when the first tank is filled and we've not processed a significant portion of it or even bothered to process any of it, we feel overwhelmed. It's natural that we get overwhelmed on certain days of our life. Sometimes it feels great too to have varied experiences in a short span of time, but we soon realize it's too much. Even something we love can become too much. We lose the connection with that stillness within, and hence we feel lost. We forget how to actually think. We forget how to think about what actually matters. Here's a list of things I've tried and have worked for me when I felt overwhelmed. 1. No words in. Consume very little or nothing, at least for a few days, till you get your mind stable and strong again. This one is a very obvious point, I know, but I still had to mention it because most people overlook this simple step. 2. No words out. This we've already discussed in the episode The Pot of Solitude. In short words, this would be staying silent for a day, week, or a month to refresh our minds. 3. Write. Just express how you're feeling now. Gradually, you'll notice yourself writing the reasons why you're feeling overwhelmed. Make a list of all that you've told yourself you'll do but haven't done. Just noticing and writing those reasons and pending tasks will make you feel lighter because it was taking up your cognitive bandwidth, at least at the subconscious level. 4. Increase in quality, quantity, and or consistency of your nityanushtana. Sometimes in this world of hustle, we get so occupied with tasks that we forget our rituals or daily habits that keep us sane, stable, connected, aligned, and strong. So check if that has happened with you. If yes, bring back the consistency of the habit. And if possible, increase the quantity and quality of that habit too. And it need not be just one habit, it might be multiple habits. Anyway, it's not easy to overcome the constant flow of unintentional random thoughts. You have to reap the effects of your past actions. No hack to bypass that. However, we can try to eliminate or reduce the effects of the core creators or catalysts of those thoughts, at least for the future, through the mentioned methods. I might write a second part for this episode, but as of now, that's it for today's episode.
I hope you received excellent value in today's episode. To know more, head over to sanatkumarnahibi.com, and if you haven't already, check out my book The Flower of Fulfillment. Thank you for listening, and I wish you have a great day.